This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
And taking a look outside from our Weather Now cameras, partly cloudy skies over central Indiana, and it looks like our rain chances could be creeping up for the rest of the weekend. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Trevor Shirley. Meteorologist Kyle Mounds also joining me right now. What are we looking at as we head into our Sunday?
Yeah, we kind of lucked out here. Those rain chances
really lucky today.
Yeah, staying pretty low today. Tomorrow, as you mentioned, they do start to go up for us a little bit. Let's show you Storm Team 6 radar. And we've also got the satellite turned on here. You can see that we've got that blanket of cloud cover. That and that east breeze have really made it a very comfortable Saturday here in central Indiana. Now, we've got a couple of very light showers around the Richmond area, working their way between Muncie and Portland, and all this is kind of moving gradually toward the north and west. A couple more showers for you just north of Frankfort at this point. But the bulk of the rain is near and south of the Ohio River around this area of low pressure. That's going to get a little bit closer here as we go through about the next 24 hours. But a spectacular day. You can see a packed military park out there this afternoon. Our temperature 77 degrees with that east breeze at 15 miles per hour, and we'll see that sun setting about 10 after 9 this evening. Temperature wise, where we've had a couple of those showers, Richmond in the lower 70s, same for you in Greensburg, but we're at 77 in Greencastle and 80 right now in the Peru area. If you're going to be heading off to Symphony at the Prairie, a beautiful night for that as well. Just a spotty shower in the forecast. Can't entirely take that out with temperatures that'll be around 70 degrees by 10 o'clock. So rain chances pretty low right now. They start to ramp up tomorrow. We'll detail that and how much you can expect in just a few minutes.
All right, Kyle, we'll see you in just a bit. Thanks. Also tonight, acceptance, inclusion, and dignity. Those are just some of the goals of the LGBTQ community and Indy Pride Weekend. The Pride Parade started on Massachusetts Avenue this morning, and Pride Fest is currently geared up at Military Park. That is where we find RTV6's Derek Thomas. He's live there. Hey, Derek.
Trevor, the activities here at the Indy Pride Fest are underway. It is believed to be the 20th year for this celebration, but things got started this morning at the Pride Parade. An estimated crowd of 50,000 people lined the streets and participated in the event. There were 150 floats to entertain that crowd. One of the grand marshals was former Roncalli High School guidance counselor Shelley Fitzgerald. She and the other 3 marshals were praised for having contributed to the community in an amazing ways this year. But there's still more work left to do.
I think we've made great progress. We can certainly be open more at work. We can be more open with our families and in public, but we still have a long way to go for full acceptance. The discrimination we face is more subtle now as LGBTQ people. We know that our transgender and non-binary family members still face an incredible amount of discrimination from top leaders in our country to the State House to in their jobs and in their communities.
The Pride Fest will be open until 11 o'clock this evening right here in Military Park. You can still come down and have a good time. It's open until 11, and admission is $5. Live from Military Park, Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Derek, thanks. Also tonight, 2 people are dead following an Indianapolis house fire early this morning. Crews were called out to a home in the 3100 block of Adams Street just after 2 a.m. Officials say firefighters were able to put out the blaze pretty quickly, but then discovered those 2 people inside. A 55-year-old man and a 48-year-old woman were both given CPR at the scene, but later died at Eskenazi Hospital. An IFD spokesperson said the home did have working smoke detectors, and it looks like the victims were awakened but just weren't able to escape the house. 3 dogs were also able to be rescued and are expected to be all right. That fire, though, is still under investigation. And new at 6 tonight, the families of murdered Delphi teenagers Libby German and Abigail Williams continuing to keep their story in the public eye. Today, speaking at CrimeCon 2019 down in New Orleans, the girls' family spoke on a panel called Delphi Murders, 2 Years Too Long for Justice. They were also joined by a member of the Indiana State Police Force. CrimeCon is an annual event that's all about true crime and their investigations. And a 75-year-old Kokomo man is dead after authorities say he drove into the path of an oncoming semi, causing a 3-vehicle crash in a construction zone. The crash happened near the intersection of US 31 and County Road 600 North on Friday afternoon. The Howard County Sheriff's Office says William Dickinson is the man who died. We're told the semi, which hit Dickinson's Chevy Silverado, then hit another semi. Neither of those drivers were hurt. Dickinson was airlifted to the hospital where he later died. That crash is still under investigation. And let's get you up to speed on a major road project that's going to get started next week. The Indiana Department of Transportation will completely shut down the northbound and southbound lanes of I-65 during separate periods for repaving. The first closure is on 65 northbound between its interchanges with I-465 and I-865. That all starts at 9 p.m. on June 14th and ends on July 1st. The second closure affects the southbound lanes in that same area. It lasts from July 12th through the 29th. INDOT recommending drivers follow a detour using I-465 and I-865 during those closures. And the Indianapolis Public Schools free summer meal program starts on Monday. Free breakfast and lunch will be served at sites all around the district. All of that happening through July 26th. And these meals are available to any child under 18 years old, not just IPS students. Adults can also buy a meal for less than $4. For a complete list of locations and times, just head over to the RTV6 website or check out the RTV6 app and click on this story. Well, it appears tariffs on Mexican goods won't be happening as the president had previously threatened. Coming up, we've got details on a new deal and what it means for both the U.S. and Mexico. Plus, a hiker missing for a week found alive. We've got the incredible story of how authorities use technology to track him down.
Our average high temperatures in the lower 80s. We're not likely to get there, though, for the next several days. I'll detail that cool stretch coming our way. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
It's now just $2.49. Aldi, shop differently.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Welcome back. U.S. and Mexican officials have reached a deal to avoid tariffs on Mexican imports that had been proposed by President Trump. Now, Republicans were not in favor of those tariffs to begin with, and after the deal was announced, many Republicans congratulated the president on the deal, but the response from Democrats has been a bit different. Here's ABC's Tara Palmieri with the details.
President Trump on Twitter this morning thanking the Mexican president and foreign minister for, quote, working so long and hard to get our agreement on immigration completed. The president announcing the deal Friday night, tweeting that the proposed tariffs on Mexican goods set to take effect this Monday are, quote, hereby indefinitely suspended. Mexican and U.S. officials coming to the agreement following several days of negotiations.
Mexico will take unprecedented steps to increase enforcement to curb irregular migration.
Mexico agreeing to send 6,000 troops to its southern border with Guatemala and vowing to crack down on human trafficking and smuggling networks.
Those crossing the U.S. southern border to seek asylum will be rapidly returned to Mexico, where they may await the adjudication of their asylum claims.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi criticizing the deal in a statement released today, saying, quote, threats and temper tantrums are no way to negotiate foreign policy, adding the administration is, quote, failing to address the root causes of Central American migration. The president had planned to increase tariffs on Mexican goods by 5% every month, potentially reaching as high as 25%. Republicans taking to Twitter to congratulate the president. Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise tweeting, President Trump's newly signed agreement with Mexico is great news for both our economy and our country's border security. But Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer with a seemingly sarcastic response, referring to the president's accomplishment as a historic night, adding, quote, now that the problem is solved, I'm sure we won't be hearing any more about it in the future. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
And a country singer's toddler's son is tragically drowned this week at their home. Now Granger Smith is hoping this accident helps other families avoid becoming victims themselves. The U.S. Consumer Safety Products Safety Commission just said June is the most common time of the year for child drownings. They've gone up over the last few years. Drowning is the #1 cause of unintentional deaths for children aged 1 to 4. Near drowning send about 6,600 kids to the emergency room every year. Most happen at home in the pool, but spas are also a danger. And swim safety experts say families should have fences that lock all around the pools and spa areas. They say also have a designated person who isn't reading or on their phone to watch the kids in the water at all times. Experts also encourage people to become CPR certified and always teach their kids how to swim.
We can start that as young as 6 months. And what we do is we teach children that if they fall into the pool, the first thing we want them to do is try to turn around and grab the wall that they fell off of. If that doesn't work, then we do teach them to roll over onto their back and float until help arrives. And that as they progress through the levels, we do eventually teach them to roll over onto their back, float on their back, and kick until their head hits the wall. That way they've found safety and they don't even have to wait for someone to help them. They can grab the wall and climb out.
Some really important information there for parents. Maggie Muller, who you just saw there, says swim lessons can reduce the chances of a young child drowning by as much as 88%. Well, celebration in Arkansas tonight after a man was rescued nearly a week after going missing while hiking on the Buckeye Trail. Here's ABC's Zachary Quiche with details of the dramatic rescue.
Joshua McClatchy, dehydrated but in good spirits, now recovering. Rescued nearly a week after disappearing while hiking in the Arkansas wilderness, 105 miles southwest of Little Rock.
I never thought I'd see anybody.
This video showing the moments after he was found.
Did you advise you have him? I do have him.
Rescuers using cell phone data to narrow down his location. Eventually, a National Guard helicopter equipped with infrared technology was able to locate him.
By the time he saw us, I mean, he thought his rescuers were angels.
It took about 4 hours for the rescuers to carry him out on a one-wheeled rescue cart. The 38-year-old was visiting from Fort Worth, Texas to celebrate his birthday and set out by himself on the Buckeye Trail, sending his mother photo and text updates. The first coming at 11:27 Saturday morning. And then this photo, his view from the trail at 12:09 p.m. Several hours later, she got a jarring update.
Noticed that at 4:51, he had texted letting me know that he needed help.
That text reading, "Hey Mom, I need your help. Remain calm and we'll get through this." He goes on to say, "I'm dehydrated and getting low on water. I have bad reception and can't make calls." But he was able to give her a rough idea of where he was. Then the messages stopped.
Me and my friends set out Tuesday and tried to go find him ourselves.
Friends say McClatchy got turned around and disoriented on the trail. Now they're celebrating his rescue.
It was just incredible seeing him come out of the woods with a team and friends who were waiting for him when he got out there. So there couldn't be much of a better ending than the way it happened.
Zachary Quiche, ABC News, New York.
We've had those clouds around central Indiana much of the day, and it's looked like rain, but most areas have stayed dry or just seen a very light passing shower. Your temperature right now, 80 degrees in Muncie. The rest of central Indiana, though, in the 70s. 77 in downtown and Bloomington and Martinsville right now at 74 degrees. And there's pretty quiet conditions on Storm Team 6 radar for you. You can see again around Richmond, a couple of isolated showers and really a couple of sprinkles at this point. TrueCast through the next several hours shows that we're going to have the clouds, but really keeping the rain off to the south here until we get into tomorrow morning. Then it starts to become a little more widespread and something you'll need to put into your Sunday planner. As we look at your overnight temperature down to 66 with mostly cloudy skies, still going to keep a little bit of that east breeze. It will not be as breezy tomorrow, though. Temperature tops out at 78 degrees with a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms. So again, it means that the rain chances are increasing, but it doesn't mean we're going to see rain all day long. So we get you back to TrueCast here. This is 7 o'clock Sunday morning. You can see fairly widespread rain at that point. And then as we get into the middle of the day, we're into just some hit and miss showers here. We're going to keep the clouds around. And then into the evening hours, by 6 o'clock Sunday evening, you can see a few more downpours developing, some thunderstorms possible there. But again, our severe weather threat remaining very low throughout the entire weekend. Mainly going to be watching for some of that rainfall adding up and causing some isolated flooding issues. Models generally coming in less than an inch of rainfall during the next 24 hours, but get under a couple of downpours and we could see that add up pretty quickly. Temperature-wise tomorrow with the clouds around, we'll go from the 60s into the upper 70s in much of central Indiana. So again, just a little below average for this time of year, about 80 for you in Columbus and Bloomington, 75 in Lafayette and Muncie at 77. On Monday, we'll start off with a couple of showers. We'll hold on to that chance there, but then dry it out into the afternoon. You notice it's a little bit cooler, and that's going to be a a trend over the next 7 days of our forecast here. High temperatures not to around that 80-degree average high. Instead, we'll be in the middle 70s. And even by Thursday, we're talking about highs only in the 60s. That'll come with some showers around the area then. And then we rebound a little bit heading into next weekend.
All right, at least we lucked out today for the parade. I know a lot of people were crossing their fingers that it was going to stay dry, and we did. So
yeah,
a lot of people happy today.
Rain staying away today. Tomorrow, a little different story.
All right, we'll take what we can get, Kyle.
Right.
Thanks. Well, coming up, we've got a warning for you about a potentially dangerous item you might be using to clean your grill. Plus, tips to get a last-minute summer vacation off the ground without breaking the bank. Stay with us.
Prices at Ross. Yes for less.
Well, right now in Hiring Hoosiers, we want to connect you with employment opportunities, training programs, and of course, as always, education. We've told you about how Employ Indy's Work One office is having an open house. That's happening Saturday, June 15th from 11 to 1. That's at that event, there will be a job fair and other career resources. The event's going to take place at 4410 North Shadeland Avenue.